God is really a religious cult, which does have a significant effect in our society. Not all good, because it tends to righteousness. The churches are not supernatural institutions as they like to pretend. They are human ones, and so they can't be all bad either. The Catholic Church teaches that confidence in humanity at large is confidence misplaced. It does not trust us. It condemns moral relativism as the enemy of faith, and Pope Benedict has said that reason without faith leads to despair. Yet the Church's absolute prohibition of contraception Thank you very much. That's a bit louder. Okay. Pope Benedict said that reason without faith leads to despair. Yet his Church's absolute prohibition of contraception has stoked the world's population explosion and so contributed to global warming. Doing the right thing is more than sticking to absolute principles. We can do it with confidence rather than faith. Well, 26% of Australians call themselves Catholic. But a survey by Mason, Singleton and Webber in 2007 found that 28% of young Australians had a non-religious view of life, which could be described as humanism. When you're not religious, you can see how unfair it would be to let government fall into the hands of a self-righteous clique. Democracy demands that the state remain neutral, as has been said, towards competing religions, and should be aloof from them, just as the application of the law is meant to be impartial. There should be a border between the realms of religion and state, respected on both sides. That's the principle of secularism. Although it may not be possible to confine religion to the domestic sphere, the churchgoer should not get benefit from the citizens' taxes. And that would help social acceptance of religious differences. Now today, the Pope arrived in Australia to preside over a grand congregation of Catholic youth and a grand campaign of public relations for the Church. Did our governments respond with correct neutrality? Not at all. They practically fell over themselves to get into the spotlight, to kiss the ring, didn't they? They stampeded into the church camp bearing other people's money. Their deliberate bias in doing that is clearly shown by the fact that the Catholic Church, wait for that, the Catholic Church is quite rich enough to pay for its festivities by itself. State sponsorship only increases the Church's authority unduly. The suspension of civil liberties in Sydney is a biased and divisive measure which does no credit to the New South Wales government. World Youth Day will bring fellowship and a sense of purpose to thousands. But that can well be done without the Church. In Norway, the traditional ceremony of confirmation has been taken over by the Humanists. And every year, there are large-scale civil confirmations or coming-of-age ceremonies for young people who formally assume personal responsibility in their life. They are much more popular than the church ceremonies. So in conclusion, let's protest against this gross collaboration of our governments with the church. The message to governments from us is no state aid for church PR campaigns. No state aid for church PR campaigns. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys, that concludes our list of speakers. I hadn't actually thought this far ahead, so I'm not sure what we should do now. Maybe we could get some more chants going, just to finish it off. What was the first one? Alright. Pope is wrong.
Put a condom on!
Pope is wrong.
Put a condom on!
Pope is wrong.
Put a condom on!
One more, I'll shout out human rights. You guys shout out not religious rights. I remember that's spelled R-I-T-S, so different. It's funny. Human rights!
Not religious rights!
Human rights!
Not religious rights!
Human rights!
Not religious rights!
Alright, we got one more, which is 2468, separate the church and state. 2468!
Separate the church and state!
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 Thanks guys, make sure if you haven't picked up a condom yet, we've got some packs down there, they're free. If you haven't already made a donation to the Victorian AIDS Council, please do so. Yeah, before you leave, feel free to come and introduce yourself to myself or any of the speakers. We'd love to chat to you. Thanks for coming out, thanks for defending civil liberties, human rights and secularism.
Yeah!